Hey guys, welcome back to another Fushby Gaming video. So I've got another a Rift guide here. I'm going to be doing this guide solo due to IRL commitments for Anthony. He won't be able to make this video. So yeah, look, this video is on the the second Defiant dungeon. The dungeon's called Deepstrike Mines. Now, as you would have noticed there's some quests at the start of the dungeon. There's also quests you get outside the dungeon from just doing general quests, and they lead into the dungeon. Now, there's a few things I want to talk about through this video. One, I'll do boss explanations, and I'll give you a brief explanation on the boss fight, and then I'll let the boss fights play out, and then I'll continue commentary through trash. One of the main things I want to talk about is the game, and how long will this game last? And it's just a few things that I've been thinking about, and it's just my opinion, and you may have maybe disagree with my opinion, but it's just an opinion, and I would be interested to get what you guys feel about what I say, actually. Yeah, so here we go. We're just going to burn through a bit of the trash. Look, I've actually gone in as a DPS role here. Unfortunately, we're a little bit low level for this dungeon, myself and Anthony, but we found a group that was willing to take us, and we really wanted to get this dungeon video up. Because a lot of people who are coming into the open beta now, we've been wanting to, run as many dungeons as possible and get a good feel for what the grouping is like. So, this dungeon has multi levels. Okay, so the options you got the ground level, and then you got these platform levels. So I always recommend with this dungeon, take the platform level first. You don't want to go the ground level. The ground level will take you actually to the last boss. So go around, follow the platforms around the top, and that'll take you to your first boss. So yeah, we're not far away from the first boss actually. We just see him up ahead, I believe. So here we go. This is the first boss. Now the first boss, really, look, nothing amazing, nothing special. When you go in to attack him, he'll have all his ads will come and help him. And then what will happen is, as you start to kill him, he'll actually disappear, and 3 different versions of him will spawn. Look, they're not elite. You just burn them down, and he comes back, and then you kill him again. So here's the boss fight. Alright, so there's the first boss. Look, not overly difficult at all. Really just a tank and spank fight. There's no special mechanics you need to worry about. No movement abilities or anything you need to worry about. It's just simply get in there, get the job done, get the loot, and get out. Now the one thing I really do enjoy about this dungeon is, look, yeah, obviously there's going to be trash. You do the platforms as you go around, but there's actually not a lot of trash between the bosses, and you'll pick up on that really quickly because, I mean, even though I have sped this up, we're actually just around the corner from the second boss. So yeah, look, I'm not going to go into my fears of the game just yet. Look, as you can see, obviously I've stated earlier that I'm playing a DPS class here. Look, in all honesty, I found DPS it's seriously fun. I had AOE attacks. I had single target attacks. I had some nuking attacks. Oh, look, I mean, it was my first real time at DPSing, but super fun. I could imagine what it'd be like having a full soul set of DPS talents and just absolutely going nuts. I mean, I only had one soul that was dedicated to DPS. Alright, so here's the second boss here. Now the second boss, again, not too hard. You need high DPS when he summons some channelers. A melee ad will spawn. The tank should just pick up the melee ad and burn it down while the rest of the group nukes down the channelers. So here we go with this one.
Your souls will make fitting sacrifices. I was once like you, full of fluid and meat, but Regulos cured me of the curse of flesh, and with the power of the ancients, I will cure Telara. This is not over here.
Oh my god, epics! Nah, but look, that boss is pretty simple again. Look, the reason why you go for the channelers as a priority is when the boss is actually being channeled, he's actually immune to all forms of damage. So, yeah, it's always best just to burn them down to get the boss down quicker. He also throws out some healing stuff and heals himself. You just, again, just keep nuking the boss, nuke the channelers, and it's really not going to be a big problem. Now, look, I'll go on to my first concern that I've run into so far while leveling. Look, and I guess it's one of those things that's kind of unavoidable in MMOs. It's at some points questing gets rather repetitive. Look, and when you first start the game, it's very much like, okay, go here, and you go there, you'll do your quest, and then to hand it in, you actually have to go to the next place to hand it in rather than go back. What I'm finding at the moment is there's a lot of to and froing between quest and quest hand-ins, going back and forward to do the same quest nearly in the same area, and it's kind of, well, it's getting me frustrated a little bit. But look, it's just a little thing. That's my opinion. But one thing I picked up on that it's kind of getting to me. Maybe it's getting to you guys too. So here's the third boss here. Again, tanks him facing away from the group. He does a knockback or a disorientate. If he disorientates you, he disrupts your casting and all damaging abilities you can cast. Best option here, healer stand away. Now, periodically through the fight, he'll actually run away from the tank and do a big charge. So get out of his directional charge. Don't get in his melee area if you're a healer or a caster. And look, you'll be pretty sweet. Alright, that's the end of that boss fight. Now, there's a few things I want to talk about that just happened in that boss fight. First one was, when I got disorientated, it's like when you used to play Counter-Strike a long time ago when you used to play Counter-Strike, maybe you still do, or Call of Duty, when you get flashed, everything rings, you get a ringing noise, and the screen goes fuzzy. The same thing happens in this game. It really helps you realize you've been disorientated or partially stunned. And another thing is I nearly died there. My screen actually faded out, and then I also heard a really loud heartbeat. In all honesty, for players that don't watch their health, and these are great indicators that, look, you're in trouble, you need to do something about it, whether it be heal yourself or demand heals from a healer, etc. Okay, so now let's move on to my serious topic here. My concerns for this game. So I look at this game, and look, it's a fantastic game. It's a beautiful game, great graphics, great combat, great class system. I love everything about this game so far. I don't mean to say that this game may fail, but my biggest concerns for this game is not far from now is the release of the beta of Guild Wars 2. And then when that releases, how many people who have jumped ship from either Guild Wars or World of Warcraft are going to go straight to Guild Wars 2, which does sound pretty impressive. And then another big game coming out as fantastic, as maybe not so fantastic as the graphics are, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It's going to have a massive following, and I just wonder where this game is going to be once those games get released. I hope the supporter base for this game is loyal and sticks to the game. Just that those games coming out look massive in their own way, will have a massive supporter base, and the amount of players that may have jumped ship from the original games to try something a bit different, how many are going to go back once the latest versions come out, or something that maybe tickles their fancy comes out? So as you can see here, our tank actually disconnected, so because I'm also my second tank spec, or my second spec is actually a tank spec, I was able to quickly change my spec and just jump straight into the tanking role. Now unfortunately, just so you guys know, we actually don't kill the last boss due to my level and the lack of people in the group. So all you're going to do here in this room, and this will summon the last boss, pull the mobs one by one, just drag them back. They're not too hard. You can chain pull them if you really like. And look, if you have a high level tank, you're obviously going to be able to chain pull them. Yeah, it's like you burn them down. Now this last boss, I can give you a bit of a rundown of the strat. Lots of AoE damage. Like, I'm not going to go too much into detail. I haven't really experienced it myself yet, but lots of AoE damage. And he actually drops these like fire stones and stones on the ground. When the stones are on the ground, you need to get all your DPS to switch to those stones. Don't stand next to the boss if you're a DPS. Don't stand in front of the boss. There's a bit of roleplay there. Now the reason why you don't do this is he has a cleave too. So here you can watch this group pretty much do an epic fail, and there's one of the fire stones. The more you move this boss around, the more AoE damage he does. So you just want to be super careful. Look, that's all I got for today, guys. Look, I'm sorry I don't have much to talk about in this video. It's more about showing you guys, I guess, the strategies and the boss fights in here. Our next video, we're going to have a bit of a discussion on more in detail the questing and other features in the game that we found that we're picking up on that, look, maybe other people don't want to talk about because, you know, the game's all shiny and new. But look, it's things that I feel that everyone should be made aware of, or maybe just share my opinion with you guys. So thanks for watching, and don't forget, like, subscribe, and recommend. Cheers.